The day they promoted Jeremy over me, I wore my lucky Louboutins, red soles, sky-high heels, and a price tag that had made me wince. But they were my armor, my battle gear for the corporate war I'd been fighting for 3 years straight. Fat lot of good they did me. I'm Lara, and until yesterday, I was the top-performing senior strategist at Stone & Wright Consulting. The numbers don't lie. I brought in $12 million in new business last quarter alone. My client retention rate was 98%. My team's productivity was up 40% year over year. But apparently that's not what matters. Jeremy has a certain charisma. Rosalie told me in her glass-walled office, her smile as artificial as her platinum blonde hair. He connects with people in a way that's invaluable to our firm. I kept my face neutral, even as my stomach churned. I see. And my performance metrics? Outstanding as always. She waved her hand dismissively. But leadership requires more than just numbers. Lara, you understand. I understood perfectly. I understood when Jeremy waltzed into the celebration party that evening, accepting congratulations for his promotion to Executive VP, a position I'd been working toward since I joined the firm. Speech, someone called out. The crowd parted, champagne glasses tinkling. Jeremy stepped forward, all perfect teeth and tailored suit. I just want to thank everyone who made this possible, especially my incredible team. His eyes found mine across the room. Lara, your strategic insights have been invaluable. My insights, the ones he'd been stealing for months. To success, he raised his glass, and the room erupted in cheers. I felt a hand on my arm. Isn't he amazing? My younger sister Athena beamed up at me, her eyes sparkling with admiration. Fresh out of business school, she'd joined the firm 2 months ago. I can't believe I get to work with him directly now. Lucky you, I muttered, downing my champagne. Oh, come on, sis, don't be bitter. She squeezed my arm. Jeremy's been so helpful to me. Did you know he's already letting me sit in on client meetings? Of course he was. Jeremy never missed an opportunity to build his little fan club. I excused myself and headed to my office, needing space to breathe. The party sounds faded behind me as I clicked down the empty hallway. My office was still lit. I'd left my laptop running while generating the quarterly reports. Something caught my eye as I scrolled through the data. Client portfolio values that should have been stable showed mysterious drops. These were accounts I'd personally handled before Jeremy took them over last month. Burning the midnight oil? I jumped. Jeremy stood in my doorway, champagne glass in hand. Just reviewing some numbers, I said carefully. He stepped inside, closing the door behind him. You know, Lara, you really should learn to relax. All work and no play. These accounts, I interrupted, turning my screen toward him. Care to explain the discrepancies? His smile didn't waver. Market fluctuations, nothing to worry about. Really? Because Zaley Marshall's portfolio dropped 22% in 2 weeks. That's not market fluctuation. For a split second, something dark flickered behind his eyes. Then it was gone, replaced by that practiced charm. Tell you what, forward me the reports. I'll look into it personally. I'm sure you will. He paused at the door. Oh, and Lara, try to be a team player. Paranoia isn't a good look on you. After he left, I stared at my screen, my fingers hovering over the keyboard. Something wasn't adding up. Jeremy's golden boy act, the missing value, Zaley's account. I opened my email and typed a message to Dominic in IT. Need access to archived client communications. Urgent. Can you help? His response came seconds later. Give me an hour, but Lara, are you sure you want to pull this thread? I glanced at the party through my office window. Jeremy stood in the center, one arm around my sister's waist, holding court like the king he thought he was. Yes, I typed back. I'm sure. The numbers don't lie, and neither do I. You're not going to like what I found. Dominic's voice was low as he slid into the chair across from my desk, laptop in hand. It was 7 a.m., early enough that the office was still empty. Show me. He turned his screen around. These are the access logs for client folders over the past 3 months. See these patterns? He pointed to highlighted rows, files being accessed at odd hours, then disappearing completely. Disappearing? Deleted. But not just deleted, scrubbed. Like someone knew exactly what they were doing. He pulled up another window. And look at these email threads between Jeremy and Tate. I leaned forward, scanning the messages. They were careful, coded, references to alternative arrangements and external solutions for clients. Can you recover the deleted files? Dominic shook his head. They're gone, but he smiled slightly. I did manage to grab some interesting communication logs. Seems our boy Jeremy's been having lots of late-night calls with competing firms. My phone buzzed. A text from Athena. Lunch today? Need to talk about Mom's birthday. Mom. Just thinking about her brought back memories I'd rather forget. You're just like your father, she used to tell me. All ambition, no heart. While Athena got the hugs, the praise, the gentle guidance, I got pushed to achieve, excel, prove myself. Earth to Lara. Dominic waved his hand in front of my face. Sorry, just remembering things. Want to talk about it? No, I stood up, straightening my blazer. I want to talk to Zaylee Marshall. 2 hours later, I sat across from Zaylee in a coffee shop 3 blocks from the office. She stirred her latte, looking uncomfortable. I can't say much, she said. Legal reasons. Off the record, I pressed. Something happened with your account. I need to know what. She glanced around before leaning forward. Your colleague, Tate? He called me about concerning market indicators. Said I should consider moving my assets. When I hesitated, he connected me with Jeremy. And? Jeremy was convincing. Showed me projections, worst-case scenarios. Said he had inside information about upcoming market shifts. She paused. A week later, half my portfolio vanished. When I tried to reach them, suddenly no one would return my calls. My blood ran cold. They deliberately tanked your account. Can't prove it. She stood up, gathering her things. But Lara, check the contract timelines. The dates won't match the transactions. Back at the office, I ran into Athena by the elevators. You missed lunch, she said, accusingly. Something came up. It always does. She blocked my path. You know, this is exactly like when we were kids. You were always too busy being perfect to make time for family. That's not fair, isn't it? You had everything. The grades, the scholarships, Mom and Dad's approval. Do you know what it's like living in your shadow? My shadow, I laughed bitterly. While I was studying, you were getting family dinners and weekend trips. Don't pretend. Lara, Rosalie's sharp voice cut through our argument. She stood in the hallway, arms crossed. A word. In her office, she didn't bother sitting down. Stop whatever you're doing. Excuse me? The questions, the digging, the meetings with former clients. Her voice was ice. It stops now. Are you threatening me? I'm warning you, as a courtesy. She smiled thinly. Some stones are better left unturned. As I walked back to my office, my phone pinged. An email from Dominic. Urgent. Found something big. Meet me in the server room. But before I could reply, another message popped up. Anonymous, sent through a temporary email service. Stop digging, or you'll regret it. Some sisters should stick together. I froze, reading it again. Sisters. They knew about Athena. This wasn't just about business anymore. They were making it personal. Fine. They wanted to play dirty? I could play dirty too. I texted Dominic. On my way. And bring everything you've found. Every single file. The game was changing. And this time, I wasn't playing to win. I was playing to destroy. You're pathetic, you know that? Athena stormed into my office, slamming the door so hard my awards rattled on the wall. Spreading rumors about Jeremy. Really, I kept my voice level. They're not rumors if they're true. He told me everything. How you've been stalking his client meetings, hacking his emails. Did he tell you about the missing files? I turned my laptop around. Or the mysterious phone calls to rival firms. God, listen to yourself. She threw her hands up. You're so desperate to tear him down because he got the promotion you wanted, just like you tried to tear me down whenever I succeeded at anything. What are you talking about? Junior year, piano recital, ring any bells? I closed my eyes. Of course I remembered. She'd won first place, and I'd pointed out that the judges were friends with our mother. You couldn't stand that I was finally better at something, she continued. Just like you can't stand that Jeremy's better at leadership than you. Leadership, I laughed. Is that what we're calling fraud these days? Her face hardened. I've already reported your investigation to HR. They're not happy, Lara. Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. Dominic. Found encrypted emails. Server room. Now. Get out, I told Athena. You want to play Jeremy's puppet? Fine, but don't come crying to me when it all falls apart. She paused at the door. You know what Mom always said? Lara would burn down the whole world just to prove she's right. Guess she was right about you. The server room was freezing, as usual. Dominic hunched over his keyboard, face lit by multiple screens. Look at this. He pulled up an email chain. Jeremy to Tate, 3 months ago. They're discussing alternative arrangements for client portfolios. And here, he clicked another file, is proof they're getting kickbacks from competitor firms. Can we trace the money? Working on it, but there's more. He lowered his voice. They've been documenting everything. Training videos, step-by-step guides on how to manipulate client fears. It's like they're building a playbook. My phone lit up with a text from Zaylee. Found something. Meet me at Carlo's. 15 minutes. The Italian restaurant was busy with the lunch crowd. Zaylee sat in a corner booth, a manila envelope in front of her. Contract copies, she said as I sat down. Look at the dates. I flipped through them. These signatures, they're dated after the accounts were moved. Exactly. They backdated everything to cover their tracks. But they slipped up on the digital timestamps. Zaylee, this is Ms. Lawson. A waiter appeared with a folded note. This was left for you at the front desk. The message was typed, "Stop, or you'll both go down." My phone buzzed again. A video message from an unknown number. I pressed play. It showed Athena entering Jeremy's office late at night, looking nervous. The timestamp was from 2 weeks ago. Another text followed. Shame if something happened to her career, isn't it? Lara? Zaylee touched my arm. You okay? You look pale. I stood up abruptly. I have to go. Back at the office, I found Dominic waiting by my desk. We have a problem, he said. Someone's been in the system. They know we're looking. How bad? Bad enough that he stopped as footsteps approached. Rosalie appeared in my doorway, flanked by 2 security guards. Lara, board meeting, now. The conference room was packed. Jeremy sat at Rosalie's right hand, wearing a concerned expression that made me want to punch him. Athena was there too, not meeting my eyes. Lara, Rosalie began. Serious allegations have been made about your conduct. Unauthorized system access, harassment of former clients, creating a hostile work environment. I looked directly at Jeremy as I spoke. Interesting timing, right when I'm close to exposing the truth. The truth? He smiled sadly. Or your paranoid conspiracy theories. My phone buzzed one final time. Another anonymous message. Last warning. Back off, or watch your sister's career disappear. Tick-tock. I gripped my phone so hard, my knuckles turned white. They thought they had me cornered. They had no idea what I was capable of. You're suspended, effective immediately. Rosalie's words echoed through the conference room. 2 weeks, pending investigation. I stood up slowly, smoothing my skirt. Fine, I'll need to gather my things. Security will escort you. Jeremy's smirk made my blood boil, but I kept my face neutral as I walked out, the guards flanking me like I was some kind of criminal. The moment I reached my car, I called Dominic. Tell me you backed everything up. Already done. External drive. Hidden off-site. But Lara, he hesitated. They're watching the systems now. Any move we make, they'll know. Then we'll have to be smarter. I started the engine. Meet me at the Grove in an hour. And Dominic? Take the back exit. Don't let anyone see you leave. The Grove was a dingy bar, far from our usual corporate haunts. Perfect for what we needed to discuss. Look what I found before they locked us out. Dominic slid a USB drive across the sticky table. Jeremy's not just coaching Tate, he's got a whole network. The video played on my laptop. Jeremy stood in his office, gesturing to a whiteboard. Remember, he was saying to someone off screen, clients are like sheep. Make them panic. They'll follow anyone who promises safety. That's when we guide them to our friends. Is that Sarah? I squinted at the reflection in his office window. Rosalie's executive assistant. Dominic nodded. They've been having an affair for months. That's how he gets his inside information. My phone lit up. Athena, what have you done? Her voice was shaking. Jeremy just told me they found evidence you've been falsifying reports. Are you kidding me? Athena, he's the one. Save it. I'm done covering for you. She took a breath. I just told the board about your illegal investigation. They're meeting tomorrow to discuss termination. The line went dead. Lara. Dominic was watching me carefully. What do you want to do? I downed my whiskey. We go nuclear. How fast can you break into Jeremy's personal folders? Give me 2 hours and a secure connection. Do it. While Dominic worked, I called Zaylee. I need every communication you had with Jeremy and Tate. Everything. Already ahead of you. She sounded grim. I'm not the only one, Lara. There are others. They're scared to come forward, but get them ready. When this breaks, we'll need witnesses. Back at my apartment, Dominic's message lit up my screen. Holy shit, you need to see this. The video he sent made my hands shake. Jeremy and Tate, caught on a security camera in the server room at 3 a.m., laughing as they walked through their scheme. Once the accounts tank, Jeremy was saying, we move them to Marcus at Rivera Corp. He kicks back 30%. We're all happy. What about Lara? Tate asked. She's getting suspicious. Let me handle her. By the time she figures it out, it'll be too late. Besides, Jeremy smiled. I've got her sister in my pocket now. I was about to respond when another message popped up. From an anonymous number. Thought you could hide your investigation. Check tomorrow's board agenda. Hope you're ready for unemployment. Then, a second later, from Dominic. Found something bigger. Folder labeled fallback plan. Board complicity. This goes higher than Jeremy. My hands froze over the keyboard. Board complicity. How deep did this rot go? A final message buzzed through. Last chance, Lara. Walk away now, or we release everything we have on Athena's creative accounting. I stared at my phone, remembering Athena's words from years ago. You always have to be the hero, don't you? Maybe she was right. Maybe I should walk away, protect her, save myself. But then I thought of every client they'd cheated, every career they'd destroyed, every lie they'd told. I texted Dominic back. Send me everything. Tomorrow, we end this. Then I poured another whiskey and started preparing for war, because tomorrow, I wasn't just going to expose Jeremy. I was going to burn the whole corrupt system to the ground. And God help anyone who tried to stop me. The boards involved up to their necks. Dominic spread printouts across my dining room table at 2 a.m. Look at these signatures. Every time Jeremy moved money, someone upstairs approved it. I picked up a document, coffee mug trembling in my other hand. Ken's signature on everything. He's been covering Jeremy's tracks for months. Dominic pulled up more files on his laptop. And there's something else. Remember that thread about Athena's creative accounting? My stomach dropped. Show me. The spreadsheet made me sick. Someone had been doctoring my sister's client reports, making it look like she was helping Jeremy hide the fraud. They set her up as a fall guy, I whispered. If this gets out, she'll take the blame. Dominic met my eyes. Jeremy's insurance policy. My phone buzzed. Zaylee. Meeting set up. 12 former clients ready to testify. Tomorrow, 7 a.m., my office. Another message followed immediately. From Jeremy. Enjoying your forced vacation? Don't worry, Athena's doing great in your absence. She's so cooperative. I threw my phone across the room. Lara, Dominic said quietly. We need to be smart about this. One wrong move. I know. I retrieved my phone, screen now cracked. Get me everything on Ken, every dirty deal, every covered track. Already on it. But there's more. He hesitated. The board meeting tomorrow. They're voting to promote Jeremy again. To CEO. What about Rosalie? Retiring, suddenly. His fingers flew over the keyboard. Right after her offshore account got a very large deposit, Dawn found us still working. Empty coffee cups littering the table. My doorbell rang. Don't answer it, Dominic warned. I checked the security camera. Athena stood there, looking lost. Against my better judgment, I opened the door. Is it true? She pushed past me into the apartment. The accounting files they showed me. Did you plant them to frame me? What? Athena, they're setting you up. Jeremy's using you as insurance. More lies. But her voice cracked. He warned me you'd say that. Said you'd try anything to destroy him. Look at these. I shoved the documents at her. Your signature, backdated. Files created when you weren't even in the office. They're framing you. She stared at the papers, face pale. This can't. I don't. My phone buzzed again. Dominic, urgent. Found video of Ken discussing contingency plans with Jeremy. Mentions Athena specifically. I played it for her. If Lara becomes a problem, Ken was saying. We have her sister's signatures on everything. Perfect scapegoat. Jeremy laughed. Already taken care of. Little sister so desperate for approval. She'll sign anything I put in front of her. Athena sank onto my couch, hands shaking. I trusted him. I thought, I know. I sat beside her. But now you need to decide. Are you with them or with me? She looked up, tears in her eyes. What are you going to do? End it. All of it. I showed her Zaylee's message. I have witnesses, documents, videos, everything. They'll destroy you. Maybe. I stood up. But I'm done watching them hurt people. Hurt you. My phone lit up one last time. From Ken. Board meeting moved up. 1 hour. Your sister's future depends on your absence. Athena read the message over my shoulder. Her face hardened. I'll testify, she said quietly. About everything Jeremy made me sign. Everything I saw. You'll lose your job. I lost my integrity the moment I chose him over you. She squeezed my hand. Let's take them down. I texted Dominic. Call Zaylee. Get everyone to the office now. It's time. Then I opened my briefcase, pulled out the files we'd gathered, and started preparing my presentation. 1 hour until the board meeting. 1 hour to destroy everything Jeremy and Ken had built. 1 hour to reclaim not just my career, but my sister. Ready? Athena asked. I thought of every sleepless night, every stolen client, every threat. They have no idea what's coming. The boardroom fell silent as I pushed open the double doors. Jeremy's smug smile faltered when he saw Athena beside me. This is a closed meeting, Rosalie snapped. Security. Before you call them, I placed a USB drive on the table. You might want to see what's on here. Ken stood up. We've had enough of your accusations. Sit down. My voice could have frozen hell. Everyone sits down, or I start forwarding emails to the SEC right now. Dominic entered behind me. Laptop open. The projector hummed to life. Let's start with the basics. I clicked through slides. Client accounts systematically drained. Kickbacks from competitor firms. Falsified documents. I locked eyes with Jeremy. Training videos on how to manipulate clients. These are obviously fabricated, Jeremy began. Play the video, Dominic. The room watched in silence as Jeremy's face filled the screen, coaching Tate on client manipulation. Ken's complexion turned gray when his own voice came through, discussing their contingency plans. That's not all. I nodded to Athena. Show them. She stepped forward, hands steady, as she distributed folders. Every document Jeremy made me sign, backdated, forged, all designed to make me the scapegoat if anyone started asking questions. And speaking of questions, I pressed a button on my phone. The boardroom door opened again. Zaylee walked in, followed by 11 other former clients. Oh God, Rosalie whispered. Ms. Marshall, I said, would you like to tell the board why you really left our firm? Zaley's testimony was devastating. Each client after her added another nail to the coffin. Missing funds, threatened careers, manipulated contracts. Enough. Jeremy slammed his hand on the table. This is a witch hunt. Ken, tell them. But Ken was already reaching for his phone, probably calling his lawyer. It gets better. I played the security footage of Jeremy's late-night meeting with Sarah, Rosalie's assistant. Interesting pillow talk about board decisions, wouldn't you say? Rosalie's face went from red to purple. Sarah, you're fired? I cut in. Maybe wait until the FBI finishes their investigation. Oh, didn't I mention? I checked my watch. They should be arriving right about. The boardroom door burst open. 3 agents in suits entered, badges out. Jeremy Holland? The lead agent stepped forward. We need you to come with us. This is ridiculous. Jeremy looked around wildly. Ken, do something. Ken was already being cuffed by another agent. Oh, and Rosalie. I slid one final document across the table. That offshore transfer you received last week. The FBI is very interested in that too. The next hour was chaos. Agents conducting interviews, clients giving statements, board members calling lawyers. Through it all, I stood by the window, watching Jeremy being led to a waiting car in handcuffs. Ms. Lawson, one of the agents approached. We'll need your formal statement. Of course, I turned to face the remnants of the board. But first, I placed a thick folder on the table. This is everything. Every crime, every cover-up, every cent they stole. The press gets it in an hour unless. Unless what? A board member asked weakly. Unless you do exactly what I say. I sat in Jeremy's vacant chair, starting with a complete restructuring, new leadership, full transparency. You're blackmailing us? Rosalie's voice shook. I'm offering you a chance to save this company. I leaned forward. Your choice. My phone buzzed. Dominic. FBI found the rest of the files. It's worse than we thought. Board members involved in deals going back 5 years. I smiled at Rosalie. Tick-tock. She looked around the room, at the shell-shocked faces of her fellow board members, then back at me. What are your terms? I pulled out a contract I'd prepared. Full operational control, immediate resignations from compromised board members, and I glanced at Athena. Complete immunity for anyone they tried to frame. You're insane, Rosalie whispered. No. I stood up. I'm just better at their game than they were. You have 1 hour to sign. As I walked out, Athena caught up with me. What happens now? I watched another FBI car pull up outside. Now, I smiled. Now we rebuild, the right way. But something in my gut told me this wasn't over. Not by a long shot. The shareholders' meeting was packed. Every seat filled. Reporters lining the walls. All eyes on me as I took the podium. 3 weeks ago, I began. This company faced its darkest hour. Today we start fresh. Camera shutters clicked as I outlined the restructuring plan. New board members, enhanced oversight, complete transparency, and effective immediately. I paused, savoring the moment. I will be assuming the role of Executive VP of Operations. The room erupted in whispers. In the back, I spotted Rosalie, being escorted out by security, carrying a cardboard box of personal items. Karma's a bitch. After the meeting, Dominic caught up with me in the hallway. Jeremy's trying to talk. Let him. I stepped into my new office, Jeremy's old one. His credibility's shot. Who's going to believe him over 12 clients and a mountain of evidence? It's not that. Dominic closed the door. He's talking to reporters, claiming you orchestrated everything, that you set him up to take over the company. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. You think you've won? Check tomorrow's Business Insider. He's desperate, I said, but my stomach churned. There's something else. Dominic handed me an envelope. Athena left this morning, resigned. This was on her desk. Inside was a handwritten letter. Lara, I can't stay. Not after everything. You were right about Jeremy, about all of it. But watching you destroy them, it scared me. You enjoyed it. Maybe Mom was right about you, after all. Athena. I dropped the letter into my shredder without finishing it. Ms. Lawson. My new assistant poked her head in. The FBI agents are here again. They have more questions about the offshore accounts. 3 hours of questioning later, I was drained. But the agents' faces told me everything I needed to know. They had what they needed to bury Jeremy and Ken for good. My victory lap was interrupted by a call from Zaylee. "Turn on CNBC," she said without preamble. Jeremy's face filled the screen, perfectly composed, despite his house arrest ankle monitor. "Laura Lawson orchestrated this witch hunt," he was saying. "She manipulated evidence, coerced clients, all to stage a hostile takeover. The real victims here," I muted it, turning to Dominic. "Release everything, all of it. Every recording, every document. You sure, once it's out there, do it." Within hours, Jeremy Gate was trending. The evidence was overwhelming. His media offensive backfired spectacularly as journalists tore through the files, uncovering even more corruption than we'd initially found. But victory felt hollow. Late that night, alone in my new office, I found a photo tucked in the desk drawer. Jeremy and Athena at last month's charity gala, both smiling. I ripped it in half. My phone lit up. A message from Ken's private email. "You think it's over. You have no idea what's coming. Hope you enjoy the view from the top while it lasts." I was about to delete it when Dominic burst in. "We have a problem." He looked pale. "Remember those board members who resigned? What about them? They're meeting right now at Marcus's office." Marcus, the competitor who'd been receiving Jeremy's redirected clients. "Get me everything on Marcus," I ordered. "Every deal, every connection." "Already did." Dominic's fingers flew over his keyboard. "Found this buried in the encrypted files." The document made my blood run cold. A detailed contingency plan, signed by board members who'd supposedly resigned. Code name, Queen's Gambit. "They're not done," I realized. This was just round one. My phone buzzed again. A final message. "Check your email. You're not the only one who knows how to gather evidence. Tomorrow's board meeting should be interesting. Jay." The attached video showed me, 5 years ago, in a heated argument with a former mentor who'd later been fired for harassment. But the clip was edited, making it look like I'd threatened him, blackmailed him. They'd been planning this for years, waiting, watching. I looked out my office window at the city lights below. Somewhere out there, Jeremy was smiling, thinking he'd regained the upper hand. Let him smile, because tomorrow they'd learn what I was really capable of. I texted Dominic, "Plan B, now." The game wasn't over, it was just getting started. The click of my heels echoed through the empty office. Dawn was breaking over the city skyline as I walked past cubicles and conference rooms that had seen so much drama. My phone buzzed. "Dominic, it's done." Every news outlet has the full story. No editing, no spin. Just raw truth. I smiled, remembering Jeremy's smug face when he'd sent that edited video. He thought he had leverage. He didn't know I'd been recording everything since day one, including his confession during the FBI interrogation. The elevator dinged. Athena stepped out. "Didn't expect to see you here," I said. "Saw the news." She held up her phone. "Jeremy's second attempt at destroying you just made him look even worse. That's what happens when you try to edit a confession." I unlocked my office door. "Why are you really here?" She followed me in, fingering the edge of my desk. "That letter I left, I was wrong. About you enjoying their destruction." She met my eyes. "You didn't do this for revenge. You did it because it was right. Took you long enough to figure that out." "I'm sorry." Her voice cracked. "For everything. For not believing you. For—" My phone rang. Zaylee. "Turn on the news," she said. "Now." The headline scrolled across my screen. "Breaking. Former CEO Jeremy Holland found dead in apparent suicide." Athena gasped. Another message popped up. From Ken. His blood is on your hands. No, I said aloud. His blood is on his own hands. And yours. I forwarded the message to the FBI. What happens now? Athena asked. Before I could answer, Dominic appeared in my doorway. They found a note in Jeremy's house. He handed me a printout, along with records of every dirty deal the old board ever made. He documented everything. His final revenge, I murmured, taking them all down with him. My office phone lit up. The board's emergency line. Ms. Lawson. The chairman's voice was grave. We need to discuss succession. I put the phone on speaker. No discussion needed. I'm stepping down. Athena's head snapped up. What? Check your inbox, I told the chairman. My resignation letter, effective immediately, and a recommendation for my replacement. I looked at my sister, someone who actually cares about doing things right. But, Athena stammered, I don't understand. I handed her the folder I'd prepared weeks ago. Full documentation of every case you handled correctly. Proof you were manipulated by Jeremy. And a detailed plan for rebuilding client trust. I smiled. The company needs a fresh start. Someone untainted by all this. You planned this. I planned everything. I picked up my bag. The company's yours, if you want it. Do better than we did. The chairman cleared his throat through the speaker. And you, Laura? I'm starting my own consulting firm. Ethical business practices only. Already have 12 clients lined up. I winked at Athena, including Zaylee. As I walked toward the door, Athena called out, Wait. That day, with the piano recital, she swallowed. You were right. The judges were Mom's friends. I know. I turned back. But you played beautifully anyway. She hugged me, fierce and sudden. Don't disappear this time. I won't. I pulled back. But I might need a good consultant sometimes. Deal. At the elevator, I took one last look at the office. My phone buzzed one final time. A message from an anonymous number. What goes around? I typed back, comes around. And karma's just getting started. The elevator doors closed on my old life. But as I walked out of the building into the morning sun, I didn't feel like I'd lost anything. I'd gained something better than revenge. I'd gained perspective. And maybe, just maybe, I'd gained my sister back too. My phone rang again. Zaylee. Ready to talk about that merger proposal? I smiled, hailing a cab. Let's do this right this time. Because that's the thing about karma. It never really finishes the job. It just gives you a chance to start over. This time, I intended to make it count.